Hello, my friends. Okay, I already see that 9 of you are listening to this. Now it's 12, okay. 14. I'll wait for a few more people to come in to start discussing so everyone can participate. Yeah, so the first question has come in. Yeah, let's talk about Griezmann. So, what Griezmann did with the champs for the past week, criticizing Koeman that he didn't Koeman didn't know the right place to play him, the right place to his right position on the pitch, and then Koeman goes and basically plays Griezmann at his favorite position for 90 minutes, and Griezmann didn't perform anyway. So I don't really get what's up with Griezmann lately. It's quite difficult to understand because he was wonderful at Atletico Madrid. We all know that Griezmann is a great player. Without a doubt, I would say that when he joined Barca, he was one of the world's best players. So his downgrade for the past for the past season and the start of the season has been really poor. We can all forget we cannot forget that one of his first matches for Barca was incredible, and that should have been a sign for things to come, but it didn't happen. And what can I say, guys? It's it's a very difficult situation for him because he has to do more. Come on, he was signed for 120 million, but we can't put this entirely on the player, on the footballer, because he was he was signed to he was signed by Bartomeu, who's absolutely clueless about everything, right? So you can't expect much in that regard, and we know that the best position for Griezmann to be playing at is a second striker, and he's not going to get much of that on at Barcelona. So yeah, it's and I don't see a solution for Griezmann's problems at Barca. This is what worries me the most. What is next for the guy? I honestly don't know. I think that he has to. In a way, it was good to see him actually stepping up and asking Koeman to play him in his position. But Griezmann's problems are beyond that, and I'm not sure that we can exactly bash him. I think it would be unfair. But the situation with him might be similar with De Jong, as Rhythm says here right now. De Jong, he sings off. He really does, and it's interesting because his match, I think it was against Italy, he was very much praised. But De Jong hasn't hit the ground running since he signed for Barca, and it's interesting because he's not being played in his ideal position yet. I think that his ideal position would be in front of the defense, carrying the ball forward. That's his biggest strength. But we are not seeing that yet because the moment that he gets the ball, he doesn't have much freedom to advance on the pitch with it. That's up to the coach, and he has to play Frankie better. It's a bit frustrating too because Frankie is one of the world's best midfielders. There's absolutely no doubt about it, and we should see more of him. It's not a matter of adaptation anymore, but when you really look at De Jong, same for Griezmann, they were both thrown into the fire. They were signed at the end of a very bad season with the mess at Anfield, and how can you even adapt in that situation? It's very tough, but he has to, and we haven't seen the best of him yet. Okay, so Rahul Roy says here, what about a real left back? Yeah, exactly. I think that a real left back for us, for Barcelona, would have been Cucurella. He really looked very good for Getafe. I think that we should buy him, right? God, this club it's really run by clowns, right, guys? It's unbelievable because he was just sold to Cucurella was just sold to make bank, to help balance the books, and you even had I think it was the Getafe coach Bordalas said that he didn't understand why Barcelona sold him either, and it's really easy to understand why he was sold. He was sold to balance the books. There's no other way around, and he was the best player. I would say he was the best player on pitch among the 22 on pitch, but he was best. He had a better performance there than any Barcelona player had. So it's really embarrassing. It's like everything has become an embarrassment for us Barca fans. It's mad. It's really mad. And yeah, so Ashai here says, "Don't worry about the result. We did not suffocate under Getafe's high press as we used to." Yeah, I don't think that this result it's a disaster, or it's not that bad. It's just the kind of result that brings us back to reality. That's the reality, that we have a very poor, a very struggling team, and that's the reality for us. I would say that Koeman still needs a lot of time to get this going, but yeah, really, it's really to be optimistic. To be optimistic about Barca nowadays is really difficult, but we have to be, because we we don't have much else right now. We have to be optimistic. So okay, just a second, guys. I'm configuring something here. Okay, now it should be working. Yeah, I would say that. Okay, so Aftab says here, failing on to capitalize on Madrid losing hurts the most. Yeah, and especially when Real Madrid were an absolutely embarrassment today too against Cadiz, and they were actually outperformed at their own stadium, and we should have done better, absolutely, and we didn't see that from the team. I wouldn't say they simply switched off like they used to do with Setien and in the final year, Valverde's final year, but it wasn't good. We should have done better. Um, okay, let me see here. I'm reading more of your comments. Yes, so about Riqui Puig, the situation with him coming on the 86 minutes. Why? What was even the point of that? He wasn't going to be. Puig isn't the kind of player that you can send in the final minutes like he's some kind of backup striker that is 2 meters tall and he's going to bang a header in. It didn't make sense. And you had Koeman playing five forwards too. It's really unfair with him too, because the guy had decided to stay even as the board and Koeman were pushing him out, and he simply deserves better. Okay, so Simeon here says, in my opinion, our attack against Madrid should be Messi up front, Fati, Coutinho, and Trincão. It's I would prioritize speed against Real Madrid. So yes, I would say this would be a good lineup, and maybe instead of Trincão, I would play Dembele. Speaking of Dembele, I would say he didn't exactly have a good debut. I know it's not a good debut, but it was the first time that he was actually returning to a regular football match today. So he was erratic. He made many wrong decisions, and we have the right to expect a lot more from Dembele. So yeah, he's a difficult case too. You have the situation with Coutinho. Coutinho has played better for the past matches, but Griezmann, Coutinho, Dembele, De Jong, none of them have performed as well as they did for their previous clubs. And what's next? They have been thrown into the fire. It has been a mess, and Dembele was injured, and Coutinho was simply pushed out to Bayern. There's absolutely no direction at all at the club. So yeah, I am going to talk about Nyom. The way that he played today, uh, it was an absolutely disgrace. 8 fouls. He actually elbowed Messi in the face. He should have been off in the first half. It's absolutely shameless. And Getafe is like that. They are the one of the dirtiest teams in Europe. In the top 5 leagues, I would say they are the dirtiest team in Europe. And although Bordalás is doing a wonderful job there, I would say that no one cares about Getafe because they barely have fans. And okay, some people might listen to this and they're going to get mad, but yeah, Getafe aren't exactly a big club, and even their president is a Real Madrid fan. So Spain, that's Spain for you. Well, Theo is asking me about my opinion on Messi's last performances. So yeah, guys, when I tweeted a few weeks ago that I didn't know if Messi's mind was going to be focused on the club, and that it could actually reflect on his performances. It's what we have seen. Well, against Sevilla, he wasn't very good, and today Messi, I would say he had one of his worst matches for Barcelona for the past year. Yeah, without a doubt, if I'm honest. And Messi wanted to leave. We know that Messi wanted to leave the club, and that is reflecting on his performances. His mind is not on pitch yet. We might recover Messi. We might Barcelona as a club might regain Messi's full focus in a few more weeks. We don't know, but yeah. So Sakib says that I don't know a thing, to be honest. And yeah, what the only thing that I know is that I don't know anything. So yeah, okay. Yeah, that Dest was really solid, as Alex Singh say, and Kill the Body says that Pedri was a shining light. Yes, I agree. He was very good. And yeah, Messi is being played too far away from the goal. I would say that his positioning was really off today too. And Nishit Goel asked me about the referees. Yeah, the refereeing in Spain is a joke, because the moment that VAR started and Real Madrid had that disastrous year, finishing without a trophy, and we had even Tebas went there, and he actually said that everything changed with VAR after Florentino Perez called Rubiales. So yeah, it's like that. It's all about politics in Spain, and the moment that Perez got involved and he got in the way like he usually do, we were screwed. And honestly, the refereeing performance after the return from the pandemic break, it was a disgrace. I would say that of all the Real Madrid matches, they had half of those matches won because of dodgy refereeing decisions. It was a disgrace, and we are seeing the same trends happening this league season. We had that scandalous refereeing when Real Madrid were playing Betis, and we also had versus Cadiz today. Ramos should have been sent off in the first half for elbowing a Cadiz player. I don't recall which. And of course, VAR didn't see it, and we saw the refereeing today. Getafe should have had at least 2 red cards, but they didn't have one, and the refereeing was very lenient. It was a disgrace. Same things ever, guys. I don't think the refereeing is going to get any better because Barcelona are in a very weak position right now. Bartomeu is really weak, and he simply doesn't have any political pull. He's not in a position of strength, just as Barcelona. And as long as we have the situation, it's not going to get any better. As long as Barca are in this mess with Bartomeu, that's why we need elections. We need changes urgently. So let me go over more of your comments here. Yes, I think that I'm not sure if Busquets should be a starter. Yeah, maybe trying to start a match without Busquets with De Jong in front of the defense would be a better option for us. But it's a matter of try on an error, and Koeman needs to take risks. And if Koeman doesn't take risks right now, when he's going to be taking risks? Because we are only at the beginning of the season. Real Madrid are doing very poorly, so there's a lot of opportunities there to try new tactical setups and everything. Nishit Goel asks me about the motion of censure. Yeah, it's coming at the beginning of November. If Bartomeu doesn't find a way to actually stop it, but the vote of no confidence, I would say it's going to be a success unless Bartomeu pulls something shady. It's what worries me massively. We had rumors that he is actually using clubs from lawyers from outside the club to interfere and try to interfere with the vote of no confidence. It's a tricky situation, and as I said on social media, I wish that this defeat versus Getafe had come early. Maybe a few more poor performances would help the vote of no confidence be a success. If Koeman had only wins and lots of fantastic performances in the beginning, this would have helped Bartomeu. I'm not saying that I wanted to Barcelona to lose, of course not, but it's a fact that good results would have helped Bartomeu and all of his cronies. Okay, going through more of the comments. Oh yeah, so Colin Jensen asks me about the corruption probe that the Catalan police are doing against Barca. That is still proceeding. We're going to have more news about that in a few months. I would say the police is going to take some time investigating this, and rightfully so. Yeah, I agree with Black Shotaro that Messi shouldn't have started. Absolutely, he should have not. And playing in the altitude in Bolivia, and Messi was really tired today. It was impossible for him to not be tired. So okay, guys, I'm going to be talking for five more minutes. Send me some questions and I will answer them, preferably about Barcelona. Okay, can we be a little hopeful about the future of the club? Yes, we can. Absolutely. Because if Bartomeu is removed in the coming months, we have a chance to stop the boards from doing what they're doing earlier than just waiting until the end of the season. And if Laporta or Victor Fontes is elected as Barcelona's president, we have a lot of reason to be optimistic. The vote of the vote of no confidence is going to happen in the first 2 days of November. At least that's the date that we have now. How do I rate the probability of Font becoming president? Honestly, Theo, I don't know. Early to say because we are seeing things from the outside. I would say that Font doesn't have much of an idea and estimation of how things would go. It's too early. It's too early for that. But yeah, I would hope that he has a lot of votes now, hopefully. And yeah, it's to think that the Clásico is coming so soon. It's unbelievable. Okay, who is your choice, Font or Laporta? I would say that both of them would be good for the club. I think that Laporta would bring back to Barcelona a stronger side in the institutional side of things, and Font would be someone more like what Liverpool are doing after the Fenway Sports Group's bought them, and he would modernize Barcelona. He would use more of the data department. He would have a more modern approach to things. Not that Laporta's approach would be bad. It's just a different approach to it's a different view of how they see how Barcelona's future should be. No, there aren't surveys about the elections yet. Okay, so about the vote of no confidence, what we need is 66% of the votes have to be in favor of the motion of no confidence, and we need yeah, and exactly, it refers to the 16,000 socios. We don't need any more of that. So basically, if 20,000 people vote in the vote of no confidence, 66% of them vote for Bartomeu to be removed. He's going to be removed. Well, Khalid asked me uh, how many percent, how confident I am Bartomeu will be kicked out. I would say that I would give it a 60 to 7% chance that Bartomeu is going to be gone by November. It's optimistic, but it's logical too. And okay, I'm going to close things off by talking about Pedri. So yeah, the guy, no, he's not even a guy. He's a kid. The kid is incredible, and he has a really special touch of greatness with him. He's something else, and he was the best Barca player on pitch today, I would say, alongside Neto. Neto was quite good, and I wasn't expecting the our backup goalkeeper to be that good, especially because his first season for Barcelona in the Copa del Rey matches, he was really poor. So yeah, I would say that Pedri deserves to start more, and we have nothing to lose, only to gain. So okay, guys, almost 25 minutes. I'm going to be doing this more often. So see you on social media. See you soon, and let's hope that the midweek result, Barcelona result, will be better. Take care.